This responsibility refers to the responsibility of minister to accept and defend the decision made jointly by the parliament, even if a minister does not agree with the decision. While a minister is free to introduce as opposing viewpoint for debate in parliament, once a decision is taken by the parliament, all ministers are bound to abide by the decision. A minister who does not agree with a parliamentary decision should resign. The advantage of ministerial responsibility may be used to avoid confusing regarding government policy or the government's position on a given issues, as well as to show solidarity of the government to maintain its credibility. While for this advantage as well, the doctrine prevents minority party minister from expressing dissenting opinion in public, although free to speak within parliament. As minority, their votes are unlikely to change the outcome of a bill that may adversely affect their minority constituency.
Conducts of the Cabinet Ministry in Malaysia. The Cabinet of Malaysia is the executive branch of the Government of Malaysia. Led by the Prime Minister, the Cabinet is a council of ministers who are accountable collectively to the Parliament. Members of the Cabinet can only be selected from members of either houses of Parliament. Administer the federal government according to the jurisdiction found in the federal list, according to expertise or experience in any of the following fields. Cabinet need to handle any emergency problems involving the country and the people related security, financial and security issues. All those related, all the cabinets carry out their respective duties and have to make the best decision for the country. For example, the Defence Minister is tasked with looking after national security. To ensure the security of the country, this minister has to guide the exchange to the country. For example, during the COVID pandemic, the Defence Minister launched the PKP accompanied by cross state and district to road restoration. All cabinets need to work together in managing the country according to the areas arranged into a cabinet.
Issues of affecting children in Malaysia. Malaysia has made significant strides forward in reducing child poverty, eradicating disease, protecting children from harm and bringing more children to school, both girls and boys, but not for every child. There are still some children being left behind and they are the most vulnerable and hardest to reach. Pockets of poverty remain an issue of inclusion and accessibility plague some of the most disadvantaged children. Too many children in Malaysia who still live in poverty are at risk of violence and exploitation, are embroiled in the justice system, live with disability and indigenous children at risk or have not valid documentation and are stateless. The lack of opportunity prevents them from having access to service vital for achieve their full potential. These are the children who need our help. We will see concrete investment taking shape in our country development.
Affecting children in Malaysia. Firstly, the Responsibility Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development needs raising funds to help children inside Malaysia. Second, advocating for and supporting child-friendly policy change. Third, building the capacity of the government and partners to provide quality services to every child. Fourth, conducting public campaigns to change mindsets and perceptions. And lastly, using innovation to improve the well-being of children.
Next issue of ministerial response in Malaysia. Some leaders are using money and connection during election because they want to have the highest number of voters, so they would have a highest position in parliament. For example, during a debate in the House, a controversial recording was almost placed, starting our Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, saying UMNO Member of Parliament could be enticed to join Parti Pribumi Bersatu Malaysia if they were offered ministerial position in the government. Next, is law enforcement of the country law lead to chaos as crime may occur such as bribery and robbery. For instance, in 2018 in Bangladesh, immigrants increased as their employers bribe to officials to get their application approved, which lead to law establishment of immigration law. Moreover, ignorance of community leaders, as they may think the problem faced by local are small and thought they could handle it themselves. This may lead to anger to citizens. For example, in 2017, two debtors had angered residents as they didn't help in dealing with the flood faced by residents and they only supplied one food and left.
Alright, there are many ways to deal with this matter to further strengthen government policy. Among them, firstly is us citizens need to be wise in choosing president. Is because as a citizen it is necessary to wisely choose the president. It is said so is because in this era of democratic system, the assistance of leaders and governments of the country is from the support of the people who are citizens, that the people have the right to who is qualified to be the leader of the country. Therefore, the people need to pay attention in electing leaders so that their leadership is able to control and govern the country well, while at the same time bringing progress to the country. Secondly is responsibility. The Minister of Defence need to tighten the law. The responsibility of the Minister of Defence should be to tighten the law. This is said so because, as we know, that foreign immigrants in Malaysia are increasing day by day. This is because the Defence Department does not tighten the law on the entry of foreigner, and even more so accept bribes so that the approval of this foreigner is close to one eye only. Therefore, the Defence Minister need to tighten the law so that this can be resolved, because this is the responsibility and right of the Defence Ministry. And the last one is the leader must be alert about the new situation experienced by the locals. Leader must be vigilant about the new situation experienced by the locals. This is said so because the leader is very responsible in everything that happens in the country, so that the matter and situation can be resolved and have a way to resolve a matter. Therefore, leaders must be vigilant and not underestimate the problems and issues that occur in the country, so that the country remains peaceful and harmonious.
Every country has a problem in forming a government that meets the needs of leaders. Therefore, the people need to choose their leaders wisely so that the appointment of the government can run smoothly. The government should also carry out the responsibilities and trust that have been given and ensure that all citizens get the well-being they deserve. Leaders also need to be smart in solving a problem that occurs in the country so that the matter can be handled more quickly and at the same time can ensure the progress of the country and national harmony. A developed country is a country that can control the economy of the people and the country as well as possible. Therefore, the people also need to cooperate and express their opinion to the elected representative in order to take care and improve the country to the sovereign and developed country.